With the change in smartphone screen sizes, 18:9 may just be the best new aspect ratio for YouTube. Hey everyone, Camber here, showing you how to use your camera to make good videos. So if you're new, consider subscribing. And before I get into all the numbers on how to change the aspect ratios of your videos, if you don't know what aspect ratio is, then check out this other video I made here explaining aspect ratios as well as the history of how the most common ones came about. Now, because 16:9 is the most common aspect ratio, most cameras and phones record videos in the 16:9 format, but when watching on new phones, that doesn't fill the entire screen. The new iPhones have a screen aspect ratio of 19.5:9, and the new Galaxy phones have aspect ratios from 18.5:9 to 19:9. So you may be wondering, if these smartphone screen sizes range from 18.5 to 19.5:9, then why would you choose 18:9 as the best aspect ratio for YouTube? Well, I've tested uploading multiple aspect ratios to YouTube, and I found that once you get wider than 18:9, YouTube doesn't recognize the aspect ratio and you'll lose some functionality such as video end screens. The 18:9 aspect ratio is also a good compromise between 16:9 and 19.5:9 by filling up a much larger portion of the smartphone screen while minimizing the letterbox bars when watching on a 16:9 device like a computer or a TV. Okay, we get it. How do I set my videos up to do 18:9? Well, I'm glad you asked. There is a little bit of math involved, but it's not too difficult. However, they are big numbers, so let's get a calculator. If we're looking at full HD footage, you'll see that the dimensions are 1920 by 1080. If you divide 1080 by 9, you'll get 120. Then multiply that by 16 to get 1920. So the aspect ratio of that 1920 by 1080 footage is 16:9. Does that make sense? Let me know if you're with me so far by leaving a thumbs up down in the comments. So now looking at 18:9, if you divide 18:9, then you get 2. So the 18:9 aspect ratio is really just a 2-to-1 ratio. So then all you have to do is take the width of 1920 and divide by 2 to get 960 for the video height. So the custom dimensions for the full HD video with an 18:9 aspect ratio will be 1920 by 960. And this same math process works for 4K or any other video resolution, but to save some time, here is a list of the custom dimensions that I also have listed in the description to have the 18:9 aspect ratio using this technique for various resolutions. Something to keep in mind when you are filming your videos and planning to use this 18:9 aspect ratio is that the top and bottom of your shots are going to be cut off when you get to editing. So you're going to need to shoot a little wider to leave more room above and below your subject for editing. And aside from that, there's not much else to it. Just set up your project settings with those custom dimensions that correspond to your video resolution, overlay your footage, set the spatial conform to none, and just frame the vertical portion how you want. Then you're good to go with that 18:9 aspect ratio. And let me know down in the comments if you plan on using this 18:9 ratio for your YouTube videos. And if this video was helpful, go ahead and please help me out by leaving a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you soon.